What up, guys? Oh man, I've been on the update since Saturday. Been testing it out. I got a couple videos dropping before this one, so I'm really excited about that. And at the end of the day, the update has been amazing. It hasn't done me wrong. My last video, I talked about it. We went through residential neighborhoods. This time, I'm in my hometown, where I grew up. Um, I'm just kind of reminiscing, for this area and where FSD's taken me safely. So it's a cool little town. I always like to go to this back area where I believe this is where the water is. Yeah, we're just hanging out here today. Um, you know, it's kind of brings back a lot of memories. FSD taking me down here. I mean, I remember being here as a kid, hanging out with some of my friends back in those days, and we didn't have no cars. We didn't have nothing going on. But $20 from our parents and a curfew. I didn't have FSD to drive me around and take me places at that time. I didn't even have my freaking license. So, yeah, we're by this little area that can take you to a ferry to San Francisco, which is cool. I've taken this with my mom before plenty of times back in those days, and we'll see where it parks us. See how this parking job does. What I pay attention to, guys, is the steering wheel. Is the steering wheel moving like a human? And I mean, it's pretty human-like to me right here. I would stop exactly like that. All right, cool. Let's try this next route. Get out of here. But yeah, guys, how has everything been working for you guys on your guys' versions on 14.3.3? I think this is probably my favorite version. It parks well, navigates well. For the most part, it does have its quirks. There is sometimes I'm like, why did you choose this spot and not over here? But those are the little things that eventually will get tweaked and will go away. um, it's just that, at the end of the day, is it worth complaining about that? No, because you could still fix it and still be a normal driver. But my thing is the decision making and the safety aspect of it. At the end of the day, I don't want this to be rushed. We've had 0 accidents on actual FSD, not the misconception that some people get of, of it's autopilot. I did talk about that in my last video. Just is that much of a gripe to worry about, if that makes sense? To me personally, no. I mean, I can fix my parking spot. That's no problem. I can backwards park if I want, but it's gotten so good it kind of just does it for me, right? I think the most annoying thing is definitely the navigation. For those who don't know, um, the navigation's through Tesla. They create their navigation for addresses. Little brake stabbing there, that was weird, just on the little sidewalk there. But other than that, the little complaints that I have, I don't feel like it's worth that much. Like I said, I could fix my parking. Yeah, it goes into certain areas or like stores in weird different areas, but like I said, that can be fixed. But keep the main thing, which is making sure it's safe. Um, you know, that's the number one priority, is making sure the supervisor is safe at the end of the day. And that's why FSD is still called supervised. yeah, you know, it drives you around, does everything very safely, but still at the end of the day, when you pay your $100 fee to have FSD, or if you bought it back in the day when it was still available to purchase, it still requires you to supervise, which I love when FSD does this. Sees a person and says, okay, I'll stop for you, lets them walk, and keeps it at a safe distance. That's what we like to see right there. Um, that type of style of driving, not reckless or anything like that. It's like hard to explain, right? You like want that in between driver, right? I don't know. It's like you want it to be safe, but you also want it to make human like decisions. And you know, I trust that Tesla will figure it out. I mean, they're already figuring it out now. I mean, look at here, guys. We got bikers coming through. This is busy. We got a lady who just decided to walk in the middle of the street. Like, that's the stuff where we get distracted because we're on our phones or whatever. But for me personally, when this thing's driving me around, I feel like way more relaxed. We're right by the water, guys. That's why I wanted to take this. But now, let's go to another spot. But yeah, guys, I mean, the biggest question I have for the people that watch my videos who are Tesla owners or non-Tesla owners, no, actually, let me repeat that. For my Tesla owners, for those who want a Tesla, what would be your advice? Comment down below. You know, I know plenty of people. I've talked to a lot of people, um, you know, about it, and they're like, "Yeah, man, like I test drove it, but it's because of X and X." And you know, that's just a personal thing. Um, you know, I've heard all arguments. I've heard the, hey, you know, who even likes any CEO in the world, any of that. But at the end of the day, if you like something, who cares? Right? Like, who freaking cares? If you like it and it makes you happy, and I'm not justifying anything that is harmful or malicious, nah, we don't support that. But if it genuinely makes you happy, then like it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, owning a Tesla comes with some ups and downs, but more ups than downs. I can say that. You know, shout out Tesla owner San Joaquin Valley. You know, we're a strong fam, and you know we're about community, and you know that's who I met through this space. Which, if you had asked me last year in July, would I be in an owner's crew? Would I be doing what I'm doing? I'd probably tell you no. But at that moment in my life, I wasn't me, if that makes sense per se. I like that brake job there. You know, who knows? What if that guy didn't want to stop? You know, some people, they'll exercise their pedestrian rights at the end of the day, right? So, yeah, but other than that, guys, FSD is super good. I mean, it's already taken us to 2 destinations, stop for 2 people. Um, it was around bikers. I mean, in the last, when I had version 13, I mean, man, if it, oh, look at that. Avoided crows. Look at that. That's freaking awesome. Clip that. Let's go. W's in the chat. Heck yeah. Um, yeah, look, it just avoided 2 crows eating something on the road. Does FSD have to include that? No. But it does. And that's freaking awesome. The fact that they are able to freaking put that in a stack. Like, think about how hard that is to accomplish, right? The car has to time all that, and it did that like a human driver. It's freaking nuts. I mean, it's getting there, guys. It does human-like things, and like I tell people all the time, and who do butts and seats with me in my other chair here, like, oh, little sister was probably the toughest cookie to crack, right? And you know, for people that want to try it, I'll let you try it. You don't need to be on camera. But, you know, I love my sister for that. You know, she supported me in that. She's like, look, you know, I'm not the most comfy on camera, but hey, I'll do it for you. And that's what it's about, right? And I don't force people to do any of that stuff. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. But if you want to experience it, hop on in. I'll freaking drive you wherever you want. and you can experience FSD off camera and enjoy it, and see why I be so geeked out on this and why I'm so passionate about it. Yeah, maybe annoying, but hey, it's a hobby at the end of the day, and ain't hurt nobody, and just being a light to people that are like-minded as I am. And shoot, man, this year 3 people in my circle bought Teslas, all gas vehicle people that converted over. That was really cool to be a part of. The third one I wasn't. It's just more so like, hey, we got a Tesla, and hey, frick it, that was, you got one. And now that they've had it for a while, they've told me like, I don't think I can get another car. And like I said, just try it for yourselves, guys. You'll see why a lot of people end up purchasing one and not having a gas vehicle anymore. A lot of the stuff that you do twice, like, let's be honest, who clicks their clicker 1,000 times? Like, I used to do it. If I'm being 1,000% honest, I used to for sure do it. I used to click that thing like it was nothing, right? Or just a massive amount of buttons in a car. Like, for those out there who have purchased many cars, like, have you really used all the features of your car? Probably not. Not even close. I mean, I'm guilty of it. And, they've simplified it, but I think what really sells me on it at the end of the day is they do over-the-air updates. They can fix the way your windshield wipers move. They can fix how FSD operates. They can tweak any little thing as long as the microprocessor, the chip, can handle it. And they've done it. The only thing they haven't done, and I hope you guys listen to this one, Tesla, you guys have not done the summon for Cybertruck. Come on, guys. Where's that at? Can you imagine a Cybertruck freaking coming out of a garage on summon when Banish comes? Or maybe you guys are just waiting until Banish comes, and then, what? Screw it. We're just going to throw it on the CT. That'd be cool, too. Maybe not for my Cybertruck peoples. But yeah, it's the only other car you'll get where you get over-the-air updates like your phone, but it's consistent. They do spring updates. They do major FSD updates. And it's constant. I mean, shoot, people freaking fight over it. Like, man, I want it. There's freaking purgatory on X for it. So, I mean, yeah, guys. And like I said, if it's not for you, that's okay. That's okay too. But, I don't think people are aware of what's here, and that's it. Just being a light and showing what you guys can potentially use and what's out there. If it works for you, your family, and whoever else you can help that can't drive, unfortunately. So, like, this is here, and I don't think people realize how fast this is coming. And man, I wish I had it back in the day for certain things and certain family members that couldn't drive. So, sorry if it's a little annoying, but hey, like I said, it's a new hobby / passion of mine. Look at that. That kid was going to run out. FSD was ready. Poked out. Almost did a David Moss there. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, guys, I mean, we're just rolling through my old neighborhood where I grew up in the Bay Area, and I just wanted to try something different. I feel like I'm always in my general area, so this is where I grew up, man. Oh, look, a road closed. No hesitation. We ain't going through that. We're gonna make it right here. See what it does here. The one thing about my hometown here is very narrow roads. That's another reason why I wanted to do an FSD video here. Very, very tight roads. But what else, guys? What are some of the negatives? I've seen a lot of some interesting FSD 14.3.3 videos. Mainly the number one is navigation. Like, for me, like, when I go to this specific store instead of taking a normal way. And it does it randomly. I don't know if it's when I do an update, whatever. I just don't really pay attention, but like it will go in the back of the store to get to it. But if you like really follow the route it's taking, it's avoiding trying to be around people so it can get you to where you want faster. But we want the more human, obviously, drive where it'll drive you to the front and you start looking for parking. But like I said, like I think, I'll kind of look back on my videos. I want to say it's usually when I get a new update, my navigation gets a little weird. Like what it normally used to do on, the last update, it would kind of regress a little bit. But I don't know. Comment down below if that's a thing or if I'm just in my head about it, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, guys, this is narrow roads here. And FSD's handling everything. It did everything very well. We had some, like I said, some peeps that walked out in the street, handled it. Bikers handled that construction zone. Another pedestrian that let through there. So, I mean, it's there, guys, and it's really cool to be a part of and witness. And I can't wait for everyone to really see this out there and see the value in it at the end of the day. But I'm going to get to my next destination, guys. I just wanted to make a video. I'm going to meet up with wifey, so we will catch you guys on the next one. Comment down below any ideas or where you want to see me in the Bay Area if you're not in the Bay Area. I kind of want to see what cities you would want me in to FSD in. But anyways, please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys always watching, and we will catch you guys on the next one.